MCQs versus MSQs. What you need to know. Introduction. When you're taking a test, you might come across different types of questions, like multiple choice questions, MCQs, and multiple select questions, MSQs. But what's the difference between them, and how do you tackle each one? Let's break it down in simpler terms. While both MCQs and MSQs might seem similar at first glance, there are key differences between the two that are important to grasp. Let's delve into each format to understand how they work and how they differ. Multiple choice questions, MCQs, and multiple select questions, MSQs, are commonly used in assessments across various educational and professional settings. While both question types present multiple options for the respondent to choose from, they differ in terms of structure, format, and cognitive demands. Understanding MCQs. Multiple choice questions, MCQs, are perhaps the most familiar type of question format for students. MCQs are widely used in assessments due to their simplicity, ease of scoring, and efficient administration. MCQs are those questions where you're given a question or a statement, that's called the stem, and then some options to choose from. The tricky part? Only one of those options is the correct answer. Your task is to choose the correct answer from among these options. Here's a breakdown of how MCQs typically work. Structure of an MCQ. Question stem. This is the main part of the question, which presents the problem or scenario you need to address. Options. These are the choices provided for the answer to the question. Typically, there is one correct answer, referred to as the key, or correct response, and several incorrect options, referred to as distractors. Example of an MCQ. Question. What is the capital of France? The options are A. London, B. Berlin, C. Paris, D. Madrid. The correct answer is C. Paris. Advantages of MCQs. Easy to understand. MCQs are pretty straightforward. You just have to pick the right answer from the options provided. Fair and efficient grading. Since there's only one correct answer, grading MCQs is pretty fair and easy. There is no room for subjectivity or bias in grading. Clear and concise. MCQs are usually structured in a simple format, making them easy to read and understand. Quick to take. MCQs cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time, so you can get through a lot of material quickly. Widely used. MCQs are a common format for various exams and assessments, so students are often familiar with them. Challenges of MCQs. Guessing. Respondents may be able to guess the correct answer even if they don't fully understand the material, potentially inflating their scores and undermining the validity of the assessment. Limited depth of knowledge. MCQs typically assess factual recall and basic understanding rather than higher-order thinking skills such as critical thinking or problem-solving. Strategies and tips for answering MCQs. Read carefully. Make sure you understand the question and all the options before you choose your answer. Eliminate the wrong ones. If you can figure out which options are definitely wrong, you'll have a better chance of guessing the right one. Don't rush. Take your time and think through each question. You don't want to accidentally skip over the correct answer. Process of elimination. When faced with an MCQ, start by scanning the options and eliminating those that are clearly incorrect. This method reduces the number of choices, making it easier to identify the correct answer. Example. In a question about the largest planet in the solar system, the options are A. Mars, B. Jupiter, C. Earth, D. Venus. By knowing that Jupiter is the largest planet, options A, C, and D can be eliminated, leaving B, Jupiter as the correct choice. Example. Consider the question. Which of the following animals is a mammal? Options are A. Dog, B. Snake, C. Fish, D. Bird. By eliminating options B, C, and D, as snakes, fish, and birds are not mammals, you narrow down the choices to A. Dog, which is the correct answer. Keyword analysis. Pay attention to keywords in the question that can guide you to the correct answer within the options provided. Example. For a question about the boiling point of water at sea level with options A. 0 degrees Celsius, B. 100 degrees Celsius, C. 50 degrees Celsius, D. minus 10 degrees Celsius. Recognizing boiling point and sea level, you can easily identify B. 100 degrees Celsius as the correct answer. Example: for a question asking about the capital of France, the keywords are capital and the country's name in the question. Options are A. Rome, B. Berlin, C. Paris, D. London. By recognizing Paris as the capital of France, you identify it as the correct answer. Educated guessing. If you're unsure about the correct answer, utilize your knowledge of the subject to make an educated guess. Eliminate obviously incorrect options and make an informed choice based on your understanding. Example: in a question about the discovery of penicillin with options A. Alexander Fleming, B. Isaac Newton, C. Albert Einstein, D. Thomas Edison. Even if you're not certain, you may recall that Einstein is associated with the theory of relativity, Newton is associated with laws of motion, and Edison invented the light bulb. Therefore, you can guess that penicillin was discovered by Alexander Fleming, leading you to select option A as the most likely answer. Advanced strategies for MCQs. Utilize contextual clues. Pay attention to contextual clues within the question's stem or options that can help you deduce the correct answer. Example: in a question about the author of Pride and Prejudice, with options A. Jane Austen, B. Charles Dickens, C. William Shakespeare, D. Emily Bronte. By recognizing the title of the novel and its genre as a classic work of literature, you can infer that A. Jane Austen is the correct author. Apply prior knowledge. Draw upon your existing knowledge of the subject matter to make informed decisions when encountering unfamiliar questions. Example: for a question about the capital of Uzbekistan with options A. Tashkent, B. Kabul, C. Astana, D. Baghdad. Even if you're not familiar with the capital of Uzbekistan, you may recall from your geography knowledge that Tashkent is a major city in the region, leading you to select A. Tashkent as the most likely answer. Understanding MSQs. Multiple select questions, MSQs, also known as multiple answer questions or multiple response questions, are a variation of MCQs but with a twist. Instead of choosing a single correct answer, in MSQs, you're asked to select multiple correct answers from the list of options provided. Let's explore how MSQs differ from MCQs. Structure of an MSQ. Question stem. Similar to MCQs, this presents the main problem or scenario. Options. As with MCQs, there are multiple options provided, but in MSQs, there can be more than one correct answer. Example of an MSQ. Which of the following are prime numbers? The options are A. 2, B. 4, C. 7, D. 9, E. 11. Correct answers: A. 2, C. 7, E. 11. Advantages of MSQs. Testing skills. MSQs challenge you to think critically and analyze information because you have to choose more than one correct answer. Fair assessment. They can accurately measure how well you understand a topic since you have to pick out all the correct answers. MSQs can effectively differentiate between respondents with varying levels of knowledge and understanding by presenting a broader range of options. Assessing depth of knowledge. MSQs allow for a more nuanced assessment of a student's understanding as they require identifying multiple correct answers, demonstrating a deeper comprehension of the topic. Encouraging critical thinking. Since there can be multiple correct options, MSQs often require students to analyze the choices carefully and evaluate each option against the given criteria. Flexibility. MSQs can cover a broader range of content within a single question compared to MCQs, which can make them a useful tool for assessing complex topics. Challenges of MSQs. Increased complexity. MSQs are more cognitively demanding than MCQs, requiring respondents to carefully evaluate each option and consider multiple correct answers within the context of the STEM. Tricky choices. With multiple correct answers, it's easy to get confused and pick the wrong ones by mistake. Partial credit. Sometimes, you'll get partial credit for picking some right answers but not all of them. It can be tough to know how much credit you'll get. Strategies and tips for answering MSQs. Follow instructions. Pay attention to how many answers you need to choose. Don't pick too few or too many. Take your time. Don't rush through MSQs. Read each option carefully before you make your selections. Be strategic. If you're not sure about an option, think about whether it makes sense in the context of the question before you choose it. Analyze each option independently. Unlike MCQs where you're looking for the single correct answer, in MSQs, each option should be evaluated independently. This means that even if an option seems correct, you should still consider other options before making your selections. Example: in a question asking about types of renewable energy sources, the options are A. Solar, B. Coal, C. Wind, D. Nuclear. Recognize that options A, C, and possibly D are correct, while option B, coal, is not a renewable energy source. Example: in a question about factors affecting climate change, with the options A. Greenhouse gas emissions, B. Deforestation, C. Volcanic eruptions, D. Solar flares. Recognize that options A and B are directly related to climate change, while options C and D are not, leading you to select A and B as the correct answers. Prioritize options. It's essential to prioritize the most relevant and accurate choices to maximize your score. Consider the significance of each option in relation to the question and prioritize selecting those that are most relevant or crucial. Example: for a question about essential nutrients in the human diet, the options are A. Vitamin C, B. Sodium, C. Fiber, D. Cholesterol. Recognize that vitamins and fiber are essential nutrients, whereas sodium and cholesterol are not, guiding you to prioritize selecting options A and C. Example: for a question about features of mammals, with options A. Fur, B. Feathers, C. Scales, D. Lungs. Prioritize options A and D, fur and lungs, as typical mammalian features, while options B and C, feathers and scales, are not. Advanced strategies for MSQs. Evaluate relationships between options. Consider the relationships between different options and how they relate to the question, especially in complex scenarios. Example: in a question about types of literary genres, with options A. Fiction, B. Poetry, C. Biography, D. Comedy. Recognize that options A, B, and D are literary genres, while option C, biography, is a different type of literary work, guiding you to select A, B, and D as the correct answers. Consider exceptions and special cases. Be mindful of exceptions or special cases that may apply within the context of the question, especially in nuanced subjects. Example: for a question about properties of acids with options A. Sour taste, B. Turns blue litmus paper red, C. Conducts electricity, D. Reacts with metals to produce hydrogen gas. While options B, C, and D are typical properties of acids, option A is an exception as not all acids have a sour taste. However, it is still considered a property of some acids like citric acid, guiding you to select A, B, C, and D as the correct answers. Key differences between MCQs and MSQs. Number of correct answers. MCQs have only one correct answer, whereas MSQs can have more than one correct answer. Scoring. In MCQs, you either get the question right or wrong, with no partial credit, whereas, in MSQs, partial credit may be awarded if you select some correct answers but not all. Complexity. MCQs are relatively straightforward, with a single correct option, whereas MSQs require more critical thinking as you need to evaluate multiple options. Strategy. In MCQs, you're often encouraged to eliminate obviously incorrect options to narrow down your choices, whereas, in MSQs, you need to carefully evaluate each option to determine its correctness independently. Reflection on strategies. MCQs employ strategies such as process of elimination and keyword analysis to narrow down options and identify the correct answer efficiently. MSQs analyze each option independently and prioritize choices based on relevance to the question to ensure all correct answers are selected. Importance of practice. Practice with a variety of MCQs and MSQs from different subjects to become comfortable with applying strategies across various topics. Reviewing answers and understanding why certain options are correct or incorrect helps reinforce learning and improves performance in future assessments. Importance of review and feedback. After completing practice exercises or assessments containing MCQs and MSQs, review your answers carefully to understand the reasoning behind each correct and incorrect choice. Seek feedback from teachers, peers, or online resources to gain insights into areas of improvement and refine your strategies for future assessments. Conclusion. MCQs and MSQs are both important parts of tests, but they require different strategies to tackle them. By understanding the differences between them and following these tips, you'll be better prepared to answer both types of questions successfully. Both MCQs and MSQs serve as valuable assessment tools, each with its own advantages and nuances. Understanding the differences between these question formats is essential for effectively tackling them in exams and quizzes. Remember to read the instructions carefully, analyze each option thoughtfully, and apply the appropriate strategy based on the question format. With practice and familiarity, you can excel in answering both MCQs and MSQs, demonstrating your depth of understanding in various subjects. Mastering the strategies for tackling MCQs and MSQs is essential for excelling in exams and quizzes across various subjects. By employing techniques such as process of elimination, keyword analysis, and educated guessing for MCQs, and analyzing each option independently and prioritizing choices for MSQs, you can approach questions with confidence and accuracy. Remember to practice with a variety of examples to hone your skills and develop a deeper understanding of how to approach different types of questions effectively. With dedication and strategic thinking, you can navigate MCQs and MSQs successfully, demonstrating your knowledge and understanding in academic assessments. Please give your comments about the video below. Subscribe to my channel for helpful study aids and a variety of quizzes. Thanks for watching.